Hello, this is Minder Chen. I'm Professor of Management Information Systems at Smith School of Business Economics at CSU Channel Island. This is the first lecture. We're going to start to focus on PLC's frameworks planning category. We'll start with the discussion of vision and mission. How should we go about creating visions and mission statements? And based on the mission and the vision statement, how should we formulate the strategy in achieving our vision and mission? And eventually, we need to focus on setting goals to measure whether the strategy we have defined has been achieved. So our learning objective is to understand the role of vision, missions, and values in the context of strategic planning. And we also need to incorporate stakeholders' interests when we try to formulate the vision and mission statement, and eventually to develop the statements themselves that articulate organization's vision and mission. So what is vision statement? A vision statements look forward and create a mental image of an ideal state that the organization wishes to achieve. It is usually inspirational and should challenge employee to reach higher level purpose and goal. So the question to consider when you try to draft a vision statement should include the following. What problem are we seeking to solve? Where are we heading? And if we achieve all strategic goals, what should we look like in 10 years from now? A mission statement. Don't confuse mission statement with a vision statement. A mission statement is a concise explanation of organization's reasons for existence. It describes the organization's purpose for its overall intention. The mission statement supports the vision. So that's why we kind of argue that vision statement first and followed by mission statement. Some people reverse this order. And the mission statements serve to communicate purpose and direction to various stakeholders, which include the employees, customer, vendor, and any other type of stakeholder. We would discuss stakeholders in the context of creating vision and missions. And question to consider when you try to draft mission statement should include: what is our organization's purpose, and why does our organization exist at all? The role played by vision and mission statements is to communicate the purpose of organization to stakeholder. It helps us to formulate our strategy down the road, guiding us in that strategic development process. And it will also help us to develop the measurable goals and objectives so that we can measure our success in reaching the organization's strategies. So Gary Hemmert and another scholars argue that vision and mission statement needs to represent an ambitions that stretches far beyond the current resource and capability of the company. And we argue that we shouldn't get stuck in the mud of today, so we need to be future looking, and we should unshackle our thoughts and flight incumbent in the freedom of tomorrow. And there's a similar argument in Confucius Analect. Confucius is the greatest Chinese philosopher and scholar around 500 BC. And he said it to one of his disciples, said that do not be impatient, do not look for small advantage. If you are impatient for quick win, that's what he meant, you will not be thorough. If you look for small advantage, you will never accomplish anything great. So in the vision and mission statements, we really try to set out a stretch goal to inspire us to accomplish something great. This is comparison between the mission and vision statement. And vision statement tends to be future-oriented and which are inspirational, aspire, and which you declare organizational purpose and address what you want to be. And vision statement tends to be quite brief compared to mission statement. And mission statement communicate your organization's reason for being and how they aim to serve its key stakeholder. So we're seeing the term stakeholder again. And mission statement try to answer who are we and why does the organization exist. And vision statement answer the question, where are we going and what is the big dream that we may have? A good vision statement that I like the most is JFK's moon landing vision statement. He said it in the following: I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and return him safely to the earth. So pondering upon this vision statement and see whether you like it as much as I do, and then why you like it. You can actually watch a video of Kennedy's making this statement and try to understand the context for this moon mission mission statement. As part of the creation of vision and mission statement, we also need to focus on organization's core values. And sometimes we call it a values statement. A value statement lists the core principle that guide and direct the organization and its culture. It is a value-led. In a value-led organizations, the value create a moral campus for the organization and its employee. It guides us in our decision-making process. It established a standard against which action can be assessed. The core value are an internal framework that is shared and acted upon by leaderships. So we need to ask the following question when we try to draft value statement. What value are unique to our organization? What values should guide the operation or decision-making of our company? And what conduct should our employee uphold? We'll come back and give some example of value statement in our next lecture. So to put it all together, I call this vision hierarchy because I put vision on the top, which define what we want to become, followed by mission, which you answer the question who we are and what we value. And the vision and mission statement help us to communicate the purpose of the organization to stakeholder. And eventually we need to develop strategy which would help us to figure out how we can aim to achieve our vision and mission. And once the strategy has been formulated, we can set goals to measure how successful the strategy is. And certainly the mission and vision statement are influenced by the core value an organization may have. This is a much more refined and detailed diagram. And here they refer to it as a strategy pyramid. And they lay out pretty much the same hierarchy and have given definitions here regarding value, vision, mission. They did not actually label strategy as part of this pyramid. I added strategy here, and eventually we need to develop goals or objective to measure our achievement against strategy. And we can also drill down to the action which to be taken and how we measure the key performance indicator in terms of the performance of these actions. And the higher we go up in this pyramid, the higher level in terms of concept. And at the bottom of the pyramid, it's much more specific, much more tangible. It's much easier to measure. So this is actually a nice diagram, summarize what we have talked about so far. Drucker, Peter Drucker, that we mentioned previously, is the father of modern management. And Drucker is famous, known for asking some basic questions as a self-assessment mechanisms. He will ask questions like what you're doing, why you're doing it, and what you must do to improve your organization performance. And somebody list 5 essential questions based on Drucker's teaching. What is our mission? Okay. And who is our customer? This is relatively new. It's not in, when we discuss vision and mission statement, we seldom discuss customer, but customer is one of the most important stakeholder. Without a customer, there's no reason for any organization to be in existence. So we need to ask another question: what does our customer value? What they treasure the most from us? And eventually, we need to ask question: what are our results in meeting customers' expectation? And we can refer this as part of the goals that we try to achieve. And eventually, what is our plan in terms of achieving the result to deliver something the customer value? And that will be part of the strategy. And there's a very popular TED Talk. I think last time I checked, there's already about 44 million views on this TED Talk by Simon Sinek. And he referred to this as a golden circle. And it's really 3 concentric circles. At the center of this why, Drucker certainly asked the same question: why? Why you're here? What's the reason for your company, for your organization to be in existence? What's the purpose of your company? And how, which is really related to, if you look at the definition here, it's really related to, I would label it as strategy. And eventually, what? What is different than Drucker's question, like what is our mission or what is our visions? What here in the golden circle is really referred to in a very narrow sense are the product that the company sells or the service they offer. This is a very inspiring talk Please watch the video. I think you'll enjoy it. Last but not the least, I adapted a strategic planning model from our former dean, Dr. Bill Cordero, and which kind of showed the relationship more clearly of vision, mission, strategy, and goals, and a few other things. And our organizational value to some extent, drive our visions. The vision help us to develop the mission. And based on the vision and mission, we would develop some general strategy in order to achieve our mission and mission. And when we try to formulate strategy, we need to look at our organization's capability as well as the environment we operated in, as well as our competitor. We'll talk about strategic formulation in another lectures, and eventually we need to lay out the strategic initiative, what we need to do in order to implement our strategy. And those initiatives should be measured against a set of goals, which can be a little bit short-term, 1 year short-term goal, or 3 to 5 years long-term goals. And those goals should be laid out clearly, rank in terms of priority, and assign people who may be responsible for it, and also figure out the resource which will be needed in terms of financial resources or and the time frame for its implementation. And eventually we can measure our performance against those goals, which measure really whether we have achieving the strategy we have laid out. And once we compare our performance against the goal that have set up, we can come back and revise actually our missions or business strategy, and also provide feedback to assess the kind of new capability we may have developed or strengthen some of our existing capability, such that we can be more successful in reaching those goals. So this concludes the lecture. Thank you for listening and watching. Bye-bye.